LeBron James, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Gloria Estefan. Those are some of the names that appear in an explosive new lawsuit filed by a Florida man against Sean Combs.
A new Diddy accuser claiming he was sexually assaulted, raped, and humiliated at a freak-off party in Miami, and that other big stars saw him in rough shape.
Sean Diddy Combs is facing new accusations of human trafficking as he awaits his federal trial.
And then the other people were there in general. It's just this lawsuit technically does sound like an April Fool's joke, but no, it is not. This is a real lawsuit filed by a real attorney.
Upon leaving the event, plaintiff overheard defendant Diddy ask defendant Eric, "You're going to be getting rid of him, right?" To which defendant Eric responded, "Yeah, I'll be taking care of that."
A single bombshell revelation could completely shatter your perception of a legend. Right now, a storm is brewing around Sean Diddy Combs as he faces fresh, shocking accusations. Ones that not only challenge his actions but also cast doubt on his credibility in court. What if everything you thought you knew about him was nothing more than smoke and mirrors? Get ready to dive into a story filled with jaw-dropping details and explosive revelations that will keep you hooked from start to finish.
Here is where Christina Courtroom, or KK, comes in. Parham claims at one point Combs held a knife to her and threatened to give her a Glasgow smile. But, quote, defendant KK told defendant Diddy that she did not think giving plaintiff a Glasgow smile would be advantageous to their potential clients who they could sell plaintiff for sex to. Defendant KK then made a threat to plaintiff that they could ship her off anywhere in the world and that she would never see her family or anyone she knew ever again. An accusation, I'm sorry if I had to get graphic here, there's an accusation that Combs had forced Christina Courtroom to use a syringe to insert an IUD into Parham. And apparently she and Combs argued over it, not over actually doing it, but that it wasn't going to work. And then there's this. When defendant Drewski finished raping plaintiff, defendant KK, Christina Courtroom, entered the room to examine the condition of plaintiff who was barely able to move or control her bodily functions. Defendant KK examined plaintiff to see if she needed assistance and was about to give plaintiff an IV fluid. Plaintiff cannot be certain if she did or did not receive such intravenous intervention. Defendant KK then opened a different bag, different than the one defendant Diddy removed the oil from, where plaintiff observed several medicine bottles, IV fluid bags, and other unidentifiable powder-like drugs. Defendant KK then removed a pill from one of the medicine bottles and gave it to defendant Diddy. And there were further allegations in the complaint that she needed to keep the plaintiffs in the case sufficiently drugged, that she carried around and gave out drugs, that she provided plaintiff with an IV, like I mentioned, which, by the way, is important because we know that one of the allegations in Combs' criminal case is that IV fluids would be used after prolonged, allegedly illegal sexual episodes, and that she tried to force one of the plaintiffs, an unidentified woman, to sign documents as well. By the way, in this case, she's being sued for racketeering violations, battery, assault, negligence, intentional and negligent infliction of emotional distress, unjust enrichment, aiding and abetting, sex trafficking, false imprisonment.
Joseph Manzaro, a Florida man, has come forward with allegations that could shake the very foundation of Diddy's legacy. According to Manzaro, in April 2015, during a birthday celebration for Diddy's son, Christian Combs, a disturbing incident took place at a wild event known as a freak-off. Picture a party where the boundaries of decency were thrown out the window and chaos took over. A setting where A-list celebrities like Jay-Z, Beyonce, LeBron James, and Gloria Estefan were all present. But it's not the star-studded guest list that will shock you, it's what allegedly transpired behind the glitz and glamour.
LeBron James, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Gloria Estefan. Those are some of the names that appear in an explosive new lawsuit filed by a Florida man against Sean Combs, claiming he was a victim of sex trafficking and kidnapping at the hands of the music mogul. So why are these celebrities mentioned? What are the allegations? And most importantly, does any of this hold water?
A new Diddy accuser claiming he was sexually assaulted, raped, and humiliated at a freak-off party in Miami, and that other big stars saw him in rough shape. TMZ is all over this story. Branson Quirk joining us live. Now, Branson, let me get this right. This new Diddy accuser is basically claiming he was sexually assaulted at the freak-off party, and he claims that other celebrities were there as well.
Yes, exactly. In this lawsuit, and it's important to note that these names are not being sued, but they are named as witnesses inside this lawsuit, those names being Jay-Z, Beyonce, Gloria Estefan, as well as LeBron James. Just to paint you a little bit of a picture of this horrific lawsuit, a man by the name of Joseph Marzano, he claims that he had, in the beginning of this lawsuit, he claims that he woke up in a mansion, this is way back in April of 2015, in a mansion owned by Gloria and Emilio Estefan, and when he woke up not knowing how he got there, he was then led through a tunnel to Diddy's house, and we can confirm that Diddy, his home is nearby to Gloria and Emilio Estefan's home, and once he was through this tunnel, he eventually came across and claimed that LeBron James was walking by in a towel of sorts, saw him in rough shape, and said, someone's got to do something about this, and then continuing on through that, they ended up stripping his clothes. They put a demoralizing mask on him, a genitalia mask of sorts on his face to humiliate him. And then he claims that Beyonce and Jay-Z saw him in this mask, prompting Beyonce to then ask, why is there this man in front of me wearing this mask? And then claims that going forward, he doesn't remember too much more. And he said that he was drugged and everything.
But the story doesn't end at the party. As the night unfolded, Manzaro claims he was escorted through a secret tunnel inside Diddy's sprawling mansion by Audria English, a woman now embroiled in her own legal battles. In this hidden passage, the unexpected and the macabre collided when Manzaro reportedly encountered Jay-Z and Beyonce. In a surreal moment, Beyonce allegedly demanded, "What's this? What's this all about? Why is this half-naked white man with ______ mask standing in front of me?" And as if on cue, a member of Diddy's entourage reportedly responded, "Diddy wants him to see what we do to snitches. This is part of his punishment."
Now, Manzaro claims that the security logs at the entrance of Star Island would reflect this entry, so something that he hopes to get during the course of discovery. Now, from there, the complaint reads, plaintiff was dragged through the back entrance of the Estefan mansion at approximately 12:30 a.m. Not sure how he knows that time if he was in this drugged state, but he continues, inside, Gloria Estefan panicked upon seeing plaintiff's deteriorating state, demanding, "Call an ambulance." However, defendant Emilio quickly silenced her and ushered her away into the crowd. At that moment, plaintiff briefly saw LeBron James, who was wearing a white bath towel, brown shower shoes, and carrying a shaving bag, walking through the hallway. LeBron James looked at plaintiff and, in response to Gloria Estefan's plan for an ambulance, remarked, "Y'all better do something about that." Quote, plaintiff was then led by defendant Adria, who identified herself as Diddy's personal sexual assistant, and through a concealed tunnel that connected the Estefan mansion to defendant Diddy's mansion, plaintiff was secretly transferred to defendant's Diddy mansion. So that's going to become a question if in fact their mansions are close enough for this to even happen, and whether there is evidence of this underground tunnel or this tunnel of some sort. Quote, upon regaining partial consciousness, the plaintiff found himself inside a large party area upon information and belief that it was Diddy's son's birthday party. Jay-Z and Beyonce Knowles Carter were seated in the room, and upon seeing plaintiff, Beyonce Knowles Carter asked, "What's this? What's this all about? Why is this half-naked white man with a blank